Hello everyone, this is the Left, Right and Centre and I'm Maria Shakil. The Lok Sabha today witnessed a heated exchange between the treasury benches and the opposition after Congress leader Rahul Gandhi claimed that External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar was sent to the inauguration of Donald Trump as US President to ensure a US invite for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. With the Prime Minister seated in the House, BJP MPs led by Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju strongly objected to Mr. Gandhi's remark and said he cannot make such unsubstantiated statements linked to the country's foreign policy. Addressing the House during the motion of thanks, Leader of Opposition said he struggled to maintain his attention through the President's address, and I quote him, because I had heard pretty much the same President's address the last time and the time before that and the time before that, unquote. It was the same laundry list, that's what Rahul Gandhi said. Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar rejected the charge, calling it falsehood. The minister accused the Congress leader of hurting the nation's image abroad with such comments. Rahul once again questioned the results of the Maharashtra Assembly elections that were held last year, alleging discrepancies in the state's voter list, and demanded that the Election Commission provide data on the electoral roll to the opposition Mahavikas Aghadi for an analysis. In fact, Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde dismissed Rahul Gandhi's comments as baseless. Listen in to all the political reactions that have come in today, and then I bring in the two MPs who are joining me on the panel tonight.
When we talk to the United States, we would not send our foreign minister to invite our prime minister to his coronation. We would not send him 3 or 4 times, please invite our prime minister. Because if we had a production system and if we were working on these technologies, the American president would come here and invite the prime minister. More voters were added in 5 months in Maharashtra than were added in 5 years in Maharashtra. जितने 5 साल में ऐड हुए उससे ज्यादा 5 महीने में ऐड हुए, आखिरी 5 महीने में लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद। सर, एक बिल्डिंग है सर शिरडी में, एक बिल्डिंग में 7,000 नए वोटर एक बिल्डिंग में ऐड हुए सर। एक बिल्डिंग में 7,000 नए वोटर ऐड हुए सर।
हमेशा की तरह सवाल उठाने का काम उन्होंने किया है, झूठ बोलने का काम इस सदन में किया है उन्होंने। मैं उनको कहूंगा, आपके पास अगर ऐसा कुछ डॉक्यूमेंटेड प्रूफ हो तो सदन में वो उनको प्रस्तावित करना चाहिए, लाना चाहिए, लोगों के सामने लाना चाहिए, ना कि एक हवा में बात करना चाहिए। हमेशा की तरह इस सदन को और लोगों को गुमराह करने का काम राहुल जी ने किया है।
Manikam Tagore is the Member of Parliament of the Congress. He joins me live. We have a Prajita Sarangi MP of the BJP. Sanjay Kumar, Professor of CSDS, also joins us. Manikam Tagore, beginning with you, series of statements made by Rahul Gandhi. The BJP says that they are unsubstantiated and more of a falsehood.
Thank you. This discussion on to thank the Honorable President's address to both the Houses of Parliament in Lok Sabha. Leader of Opposition has initiated a debate, and he presented an alternative vision for the country. And in that speech, he made many very valid points about it. And as usual, the BJP usually was not prepared for his speech in this manner, because he was proposing an alternative vision from the part of the India partners itself. And in the speech itself, he mentioned that this is instead of questioning their vision or the vision statement of the government of Mr. Modi and read by Honorable President, he instead said that it is, if there would have been opportunity for the India alliance, this would have been our policy and the vision forward. And therefore, in that discussion, the BJP was not prepared for it. We can understand that we would like to think that the BJP was not at all expecting the same kind of arguments by Mr. Gandhi. And they were prepared for some other issues.
To raise questions again on the election results on the floor of the House, and that's not where Election Commission can respond to. You had concerns, you have raised it with the Election Commission. Election Commission has responded to it. Why reiterate that entire point and raise questions on the election process?
That's a good question, Mariaji. Give me a minute, I'll explain it. Because he was speaking on the President's address and thanking the President for addressing the country, and he was mentioning about the institution called Election Commission, how the government has made the selection of CEC and the other EC members one-sided. Therefore, he told that in a few days' time, he will be joining a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, where the Chief Justice of India should have been part of it. When we select people like that, you will get into this kind of things only. It is the neutrality of the Election Commission has been lost. Simple. This calculation is known. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections and the next forward in December elections of 2019, in Maharashtra, 12 lakh votes is increased. This time, it is 70 lakh votes. It is a simple story. It is, the question we are asking is, we are asking for the Election Commission to provide a digitalized membership voter list of 2024 Lok Sabha elections and 2024 Parliament elections, Assembly elections. Nothing else we are asking.
Let me bring in Ms. Sarangi
now. Election Commission is not ready to open that thing.
Okay. Ms. Sarangi, the larger question is that here is the leader of opposition. I'm coming back to you, sir, who is continuously raising questions and doubting the credibility of the poll results. Not the first time, won't be the last perhaps, but what it does to the entire election process is a larger question, you know, because it raises doubts in the minds of the people as well.
A very good evening. Two highlights of today which I would like to put forth before all of you. Number one, from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, 20 questions had been listed for all the honorable members of Parliament to ask in the Lok Sabha. And for the first time, I think it's a record, 18 out of 20 questions were asked by the members of Parliament despite the ruckus created by the opposition led by the Congress. So I think the no-nonsense approach of Shri Om Birla ji, Honorable Speaker, was absolutely clear. You know, we are here to debate, to get into discussion, to get into proper constructive dialogue and offer constructive suggestions. We are not here to bang the table. That was absolutely clear. This is one point, one highlight of the day, and which actually amused all of us. Now, number two, the speech of the leader of opposition. Now, two things which we really discussed, and I would like to focus on those, dwell on those. Number one, the invite to Honorable Prime Minister, because Shri Jaishankar ji went and requested US to invite. Now here, he has tweeted, a very responsible officer, he had been a very responsible minister he is. He has tweeted that in December 24, he had been to the US to meet the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor of Biden administration. And there was no question of requesting them to invite Prime Minister. Now this is a tweet coming from somebody who is very responsible, very mature. This is one part. And number two, very interesting, Rahul Gandhi ji came forward and leveled all kinds of charges, and one charge was really amusing to all of us. The charge was that the whole population of Himachal Pradesh was added to the list of Maharashtra voters, about 70 lakh. And he started, you know, he devoted a major portion of his speech on this particular item. Now, my concern is, if he is able to put forth this in the Lok Sabha, why can't he back his statement with evidence, with proof? You know, you can't just speak like that. As members of Parliament, we are supposed to conform to certain standards of conduct. And one very important rule that we all have to adopt is, and all have to practice, all have to go by, is we cannot speak untruth on the floor of the House. If he said so, he had to come up with the list of all those assemblies where, you know, he thought 70 lakh voters had been added. So he should have come with some kind of proof, some kind of documentary evidence. Now coming there, not substantiating his statement and asking the ECI to provide in support of what he said. How ridiculous this is, how immature, how puerile this is. And how can he do this?
Okay.
He should have come with a list of, list of assembly segments and with all the evidence. He would have shown those papers to us, and he would have asked the ECI to corroborate, to actually verify as to what he says is right or wrong.
Okay, I'm
But
going
he
to,
said, ECI,
before I seek a response from Manikam Tagore,
ridiculous.
I want to understand from you, Sanjay Kumar, this charge of voter manipulation has been going on for way too long. The question really is that, is this really, the larger question of inconsistencies in electoral process is what the Congress is raising. Do you think the Election Commission, which has cleared the doubt, should keep on, reiterating its position as well? Because this certainly raises the larger question mark on the free and fair elections that we have been seeing.
Maria, I think initially for a very long time the discussion was around the EVMs, that EVMs are hijacked. Then there was a discussion about, the allegations that, votes are being stuffed in the EVM. So Election Commission has come out with explanations time and again. Maybe it has not convinced the Congress party and the opposition leaders, but Election Commission came up with explanation about the EVMs. This is a new kind of allegation which is being leveled by Congress party and various opposition charges on between Lok Sabha election and Assembly election. I think this should be as simple as Election Commission of India providing the political parties the true electoral role, and this should clear the doubt. If Election Commission keeps silence on that, then it actually raises concern even among the now to at least have right.
I can only say that Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, required to conform to certain standards, and he should have evidence. Have actually gone into it, or rather the Election Commission of India would have verified whether he was saying the truth or not. It was absolutely wrong level of immaturity and lack of seriousness to the whole thing. I mean, he can't just level charges like this, and he cannot, it is like shooting in the dark.
Okay, so you are saying that these are unsubstantiated evidence if those in that...
My colleague in the Parliament, Ms. Sarangi, with respect, I'll tell you that the question is very simple. 2019, there was in Maharashtra total 12. In 2000, same thing happened. That's the question we are asking. Therefore, we are asking, as Sanjay ji was saying, that leader of opposition asked in the floor voter list of 2014 Lok Sabha, list of 2024 assembly elections. What is wrong with it? Is there anything we have asked? Moon we have asked? We are not asked for moon. We are asked for voter list to be in a digitalized format. Because Election Commission should have this minimum information to be provided to the election to the political parties. Another thing I wanted to reply to my colleague is that about the Mr. Jaishankar's statement. If you are Maria, if you see, if you ask your team to play the leader on the president, on the US foreign minister, and inviting the invitation from the
Yes.
US president, he was telling that he was speaking about if we would have been there, if India would have in the production part and if you would have settled a production part, better production part, and the AI is developed in a way, if we would have been power in Delhi, we would not have run like this. He has not mentioned Mr. Jaishankar. He has not mentioned Mr. Modi. Why Mr. Jaishankar is jumping himself when media was writing about it for one month about it? It's been more than 2 weeks to 3 weeks. This media has been writing about it that Mr. Jaishankar is camping in to do this work. Why Mr. Jaishankar was not jumping into the media in that time? Why is now, whether Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji mentioned Mr. Jaishankar's name? Whether Mr. Rahul Gandhi mentioned Mr. Modi's name? No, he was saying about futuristic part. If we would have been in power, this would not have happened. Instead, American president will come to India and they will invite us. That's the story. If you play the video, you will be able to know it because NDTV is an English channel. He spoke in English only.
Okay. So
My
then
colleague
is the government and the treasury benches overreacting? What are you really overreacting here, Prajita Sarangi?
Treasury benches are overreacting.
No, I'm talking about treasury benches.
Not at all. Why should we overreact? I mean, we were aghast. I mean, why should he be saying that Jaishankar ji has to go? Jaishankar ji has to actually ask the US to invite Prime Minister. You have to listen to the whole statement carefully. Absolutely demeaning. He is talking about the Prime Minister of the country. And the Prime Minister does not belong to the Bharatiya Janata Party. He belongs to the country. He is the country's PM. I mean, you cannot have such derogatory remarks about the President as well as the Prime Minister. Now, one more question, Maria, please allow me. Will my friend, Mr. Tagore, talk about the abnormal increase in the number of electors in the state assembly elections of Karnataka and the Lok Sabha elections in Kerala? He would definitely not do that. Whatever suits them, they will say. So suppose I, as a spokesperson of the party, I say, there has been abnormal increase in the number of voters in Karnataka and Kerala elections. Will they not actually say that I am telling the untruth? So I think unless and until I back my statement with evidence, I just can't stand in the Lok Sabha and, with a demeanor of positivity and confidence, I can't speak like that. It's absolutely not befitting a parliamentarian.
Okay. Manikam Tagore?
No, my colleague is again getting into another topic of Karnataka. This is the problem with the BJP friends that they will, when we speak about Maharashtra, they will go to Karnataka, then they will go to Kerala. We are speaking about Karnataka. Karnataka elections happened in 2023. In that time also Congress party had raised this issue, and in that time election commissioners were very serious about it. In that time there was officers have been arrested also. If I remember, suspended in Bangalore city in Rizwan Arshad constituency, if I remember. That's all happened. Therefore, we have to understand that we are speaking about an electoral system, election commission system, which has to be neutral. It can't be a Russian model election system. And I'll request Maria, please play the video of Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech on that Jaishankar story. Why overreaction of Jaishankar is causing everybody this kind of thing. He is not leader of opposition, was speaking about a futuristic part, and he was not mentioning about Mr. Jaishankar. He was not mentioning about Mr. Modi also. Therefore, BJP is overreacting. BJP is not ready to understand that they were prepared for a different kind of speech from leader of opposition. They were thinking that he will attack them and he will make them in political this thing. This time,
yes,
he made a very different he presented an alternative vision. 1 minute. Because we expect that Mr. Modi should also behave a little decent way tomorrow. We expect that Prime Minister will behave like a Prime Minister tomorrow. We hope that we will also able to hear the Prime Minister's speech in that way only. Not as a politician he will speak like for Delhi elections.
I'm saying the beauty of this discussion which is happening here right now on NDTV is that both the opposition and the treasury benches representatives are smiling while making their point. The heat that we see the complete collapse of communication that we see in Parliament is at least not reflecting on my debate. So I'm really grateful to both of you. But a word from Sanjay Kumar before I go back to the two MPs. Sanjay Kumar, you know, we expected a showdown of sorts. It was building up for a long time, and here is Rahul Gandhi speaking as the leader of opposition. So perhaps he could not have given any kind of elbow room to the government, and he played on that pitch, one may say.
This is not the first time that has happened, Maria, in the Parliament. This is happening again and again. You're right, but I think we are all talking about constructive politics. We are all talking about constructive debate in the House. While opposition also says that we want to have a constructive debate, the ruling party also want that the bill should be debated properly. There should be proper debates on the about the bill. But the sad part is that it is all on the textbook. It is all outside Parliament when the discussion takes place. But when you are inside the Parliament, sometimes I think the leaders are not trying to address the parliamentarians. They are not trying to address the chair. Sometimes they are trying to use this as an occasion to address their own voters, that how they are performing in the Parliament, how they are raising the concerns of the common voters, or how they are raising the concerns of their own supporters. That is, I think, a sad part, because that's to be done on when you are addressing an election rally. Speeches in the Parliament should be limited to policies, programs, discussion. It should not be a speech which should be like an election speech, whether it is being made by leader of the opposition or from the treasury benches.
Okay, point well taken. I mean, both of you, please respond to this. Is that a distinction between an election rally or an election platform vis-a-vis Parliament almost missing in our parliamentary democracy now, Manikam Tagore? Because the platform of Parliament is now being used to send message to the constituents outside rather than it being about constructive criticism or discussion.
No, this is across the world. This is happening because of the many factors, and in my view, India, we should overcome that part. And leader of opposition's today's speech is a very important part in our view, because there is across the world as well as in India's political structures also, the communication is a problem, and we are not communicating. The opposition as well as the ruling party, the opposition thinks that ruling party thinks that they have everything, they had won everything, and we think that we had been treated in a very bad way. Therefore, we behave in a different way. Therefore, this has to end, and the leader of opposition has taken that initiative. We hope that Honorable Prime Minister tomorrow makes that gesture and take it forward in a positive way. And there can be sarcastic comments, sarcastic criticism under this. That will always happen. And questioning the government, questioning the opposition, this all will happen. Mr. Gandhi today accepted that UPA also we had failed, NDA has also failed on the employment problem. Usually in Indian political system, we don't accept that we had done a mistake. And he prized, if you remember, if you watch this speech, I think that media should have picked that speeches. That instead we are going into a sarcastic comment of Jaishankar, and Jaishankar is jumping into a different thing. Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji prized Mr. Modi's efforts on the Make in India efforts and others. He told that he was trying something, but it failed. But that kind of appreciation in the Parliament is a very important step forward, and Mr. Gandhi, as the leader of opposition, has taken it forward. And my BJP friends, whether they are ready or not, I don't know. But if they are ready, again, if they are pushing us back to the square one, then we will be forced to do what they want.
Okay.
The same old politics must end. That's the only hope we are having.
That's a great degree of acceptance here coming in, and honest feedback that's coming in here. Prajita Sarangi, the question also is that can the parliamentary discussions be viewed with a different prism? It is not really about everything about being charged. It can be about some degree of humor, which was missing, now making a comeback again, which we have seen, those very healthy repartee which used to happen between late Manmohan Singh and late Sushma Swaraj. I mean, those were textbook cases where we enjoyed parliamentary discussions.
I endorse the views of the analyst, the respected analyst on the panel, rightly said that there should be bonhomie, there should be feelings of camaraderie, and we should be talking point-wise. There is a difference between Sadak and Sansad, and we must accept that particular difference and respect the Parliament and respect the Sadak too. Because, you know, the attitude, the approach in both the places are entirely different from one another. Now, this is one part. But at the same time, I would say that whenever we speak on the floor of the House, we have to be absolutely backing our statements with evidence, with proof. I will be emphasizing this again. You know, today that was something which is missing. When he was praising Honorable Prime Minister that he tried for Make in India and he did want more manufacturing, more FDI, he should have backed his statements with evidence which was lacking. Where was the data? Where was the statistics to back whatever he was saying? So, you know, we will definitely object to that. I mean, I have come here with figures. As far as manufacturing sector is concerned, let me tell you, Maria, we are much ahead with regard to what the Congress did. 17.4% of the GDP coming from manufacturing sector.
Okay.
And during their time, it was just 15% of the GDP from the manufacturing sector. So on what ground did he say that? That Make in India failed under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji? That's absolutely wrong. And number two, let me tell you that the services sector grew by 36% between 2014 and 2023. And during the time of Congress, right from 2004 to 2014, it was just 25%. The services sector grew by 25% during their time. In our time, 36%. So I can rattle off figures. You know, I have facts and figures to substantiate what I'm saying. I'm not in the Lok Sabha. I'm here outside. When Rahul Gandhi ji spoke, he should have quoted the sources. He should have talked about the statistics, the data, and the sources. So I think he would have been more convincing.
All right.
He has every right to level charges against the government, but you know, he should substantiate his claims, his statements with proof.
Thank you so much for joining us, Prajita Sarangi, Manikam Tagore and Sanjay Kumar. Tomorrow, of course, will be the day in which the Prime Minister will be responding to the motion of thanks. So all eyes will be on what will be the big takeaway of the Prime Minister's speech.